All right, let's dive in. Today, we're cracking open the professional profile of innovator Daniel Piñón Sinniger to really figure out what makes him tick. We're going to unpack his philosophy, his skills, and the pretty unique mission that drives all of his work. So, let's get right to it. And right out of the gate, this quote gives us the master key, the living lab. Now, you got to understand, this isn't just a clever phrase, it's a whole mindset. It frames his entire career as this constant experiment, always searching for that sweet spot where creativity, tech, and people don't just coexist, they actually come together to create something better. So hang on to that idea, because everything else we talk about builds on it. Okay, first up, a mission of empathy. So what's the why behind all this? Every great innovator has a core purpose, a reason for doing what they do. And this is his.
It's one thing to be into technology, but notice the crucial word here, empathy. This isn't just about chasing the next cool gadget. The real goal, the bigger picture, is to build tools and organizations that actually serve a human purpose, creating places where people are empowered to really grow. That's the ultimate benchmark for success.
So, what's the operating system that runs that whole mission? Well, it pretty much comes down to these three core values. Collaboration. That's not just about teamwork, it's about building with people. Creativity is the engine for discovering new answers. And continuous learning. That's the commitment to never ever stand still. These aren't just buzzwords, they're active principles in everything he does. So that brings us to section 2, the living lab approach. We've got the why, so now let's get into the how. How does he actually make this mission a reality? Well, it all circles back to that central idea of the living lab. So what exactly is a living lab in practice? Think of it like a workshop where big ideas get their hands dirty. It's the place where a high-level strategy gets tested in the real world, where you can move fast without losing sight of the goal, and most importantly, where you never forget that a real person is going to be using whatever it is you build. And this right here, this is huge. This highlights a skill that solves one of the biggest problems in so many organizations, that giant gap between the ideas on a whiteboard and what happens in the real world. He acts as the bridge. He's totally comfortable defining that high-level vision and then rolling up his sleeves to actually build the project that makes it happen. All right, section 3, a toolkit for innovation. So we've got the mission and the method. Now for the what, the actual tangible skills he brings to the table. This is where the rubber meets the road. You can see his expertise is built on these three really modern pillars. Digital transformation, that's about guiding organizations into the future. Project development, that's the nuts and bolts of how to build the path. And then there's applied AI. That's the turbo boost, using these incredible cutting-edge tools to make everything smarter. It's the combination of all three that's really so powerful. And just look at how broad this experience is. You've got the academic foundations from both Switzerland and Mexico, but then look at where it's been put to the test. In the super-fast world of startups, the purpose-driven space of NGOs, and in complex international settings. So this isn't just theory from a book. It's a worldview that's been tested on the ground across different cultures and industries. And that brings us to section 4. Global mindset, creative soul. Now, skills and experience are only one part of the story. To really get the full picture, you have to look at the who behind all the work. This is such a fascinating mix. I mean, think about it. You get the passion and that creative energy from his Mexican roots, and you fuse that with the structure and the focus on quality from his Swiss experience. Then you wrap it all up in a global mindset. What you get is a really powerful advantage. The ability to look at any challenge from multiple angles, all at once. And just when you think you have the full picture, there's this. Beyond the professional world, he's also Dan & E Beats, an EDM producer and DJ. Now you might think, those are two totally different lives. But really, it's the exact same drive at work. A passion for using structure and creativity to connect with people, whether it's through technology or through sound. All right, so after exploring the why, the how, the what, and the who, it all funnels down into one last idea: collaboration. This whole profile isn't just a summary of what's been done. It's really an invitation to build what comes next. And it all kind of boils down to this single question, which gets right to the heart of his work. In an age of automation and AI, this might be one of the most important questions for any innovator to be asking right now. It challenges all of us to think beyond just simple replacement and to aim for genuine empowerment.
And that brings us to the final message. It's simple. It's direct. It's an open invitation. It's a powerful reminder that the most meaningful innovations, the ones that really matter, they aren't built in a silo. They're built together.